afternoon, everybody. My name is Asa, and today the topic for discussion is trade. The economy of Singapore is best described as a mixed economy. Although the country strongly advocates free market policies and practices, government intervention is also evident in macroeconomic management and major factors of production such as land, labour and capital resources. Singapore is also one of the most open and competitive markets in the world. The 2011 World Bank Economies of Doing Business Index ranks Singapore as best country in the world to do business.
International trade refers to the exchange of goods and services between countries. It brings about tremendous benefits such as increased productivity due to specialization, as well as an increased variety of goods in which Singapore consumers can enjoy. Furthermore, it encourages competition between local firms in Singapore and discourages conflicts between countries too. Singapore has a relatively small domestic market and thus has to open its economy to trade with external markets in order for the economy to thrive.
In other news, for Singapore, we have many free trade agreements with many countries like Malaysia, China and Hong Kong, as we have low trade barriers and no tariffs. The way we import is established.
Singapore's trade includes a significant amount of intra-industry trade, which means most of these goods are not finished goods, but rather they are semi-finished goods. Some examples are refined petroleum products, electrical products, and telecommunications equipment. This tells us that Singapore is part of a production process that spans across many countries, and this is made possible by globalization and the rise of multinational corporations such as McDonald's, Nike, and Adidas. This is in line with the principle of comparative advantage. Instead of each country specializing in the production of whole goods, globalization has allowed the production of goods to be split in different processes which can be outsourced to different countries which possess the comparative advantage at various stages of production. Today we have with us Professor Sexy, and she'll be talking about what she knows about Singapore's trade.
Hi. Mike. Can I have the mic? Thank you. Hello.
Okay, so Professor, can you please give us a rough idea of what you know about the trade in Singapore?
Oh yes. Singapore is the fourth most central port in the world and is also a transshipment hub. Steady up! 90% of the... Sorry, I forgot my lines. Don't. Is this better? As I was saying, 90% of all trade in the world is shipped by sea. 40% of total sea trade goes through the Straits of Malacca and has to pass through Singapore. I mean stop at Singapore. The Straits of Johor is currently impassable to any ship as the Johor-Singapore Causeway links Singapore to Malaysia, which makes the port of Singapore most important in transshipment. As you can see, this is the first comprehensive map of global shipping routes based on actual itineraries. Look, so many lines, all passing through Singapore.
Like a bus!
While the port may seem to boost Singapore's economy, we cannot forget that it is also an economic necessity because Singapore is lacking in land and natural resources. With all these trades, consumers get to enjoy a greater variety of goods, and this boosts consumption, which increases AD and national income. Furthermore, there will be more overseas investments coming into our small little country. However, there might be a little problem. Inflation might occur due to the increasing AD. Thankfully, the government of Singapore can control the situation by introducing the exchange rate policy. Woohoo!
This ends the topic of discussion for today. Join us next time and have a nice day. And today we are doing the economics project that has to do with we are what face.
What the hell? in order for the economy to thrive.
Which is why Singapore is the most important port in...
It's as such.
Huh?